What is going on, everybody? Back today for another video. This is going to be a short video because we got rained out behind us here, but we've got Gone Fishing Gary from Georgia in town, and obviously we've got Laura today. Yesterday we drove to Naples to pick up a beautiful LT25 Gheenoe, so we're going to jump into the video and we'll see you there. He's got his head down in the grass.
Hit him by the tail, we'll see what that is.
Right?
That'll happen with the salmon. You'll hook something like that. Yeah, that's a little iguana right there. Look, he's a newbie. You see how bright green he is? Right there, he's bright.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's behind the rock now. Gary's on a snakehead. All right, on the Zebco, straight fluorocarbon.
I hope he's still in there. God, I got the whole bank.
All right, we got Gary hooked up on his snakehead. First snakehead, a little guy. But man, those things are just beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Got him on the frog. Show him the frog, Gary. Nice little black frog, Amazon special. I'll have the link to those frogs in the description box below. And yeah, we got a nice little snakehead to start the day. And Gary, just so you guys know, is fishing on a Zebco. What is this, the Omega?
Yeah, Omega Pro, yeah.
The Omega Pro. So, good job, Gary.
Thank you.
Hey, he's a little guy. We'll send him on back.
Yep. He's slippery, so he may go fast.
Hold it up a little bit and just, oh, there he goes, he's gone.
Feel like a rocket. Once he got wet, he gave me the slip.
Oh yeah. Those things are wicked, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that's not Gary's first snakehead, but it is our first snakehead of the day. Cast down the bank, Gary, cast down the bank.
Oh, I'm way off. Go ahead and shoot another one down the bank.
Live. Shoot, we're hung up. There we go. Look at him, look at him. Got him. That's a snakehead. In the boat, little guy. Look at that little snake. Little snaky snake. Look at that little guy. Oof. That's how you want them hooked. Right like that. 2 hooks right to the nose. That was a sick blow up for a little fish.
Well, there was another one.
They're loaded right here. What was that right there?
There's another one right here by this closest big rock sticking out.
Very little guy, but he's got some real nice yellow color to him. We're just gonna let him go just like that.
Fish running right there. For a while and then move up because we're scared around. It's just so shallow. Oh, come on.
Oh man, that might be a sick one. Oh heck, he's gone and I got no.
You got a fish?
Yeah, there, he's there.
Oh yeah. You got a little snakehead. Oh, you got a good size one. Here,
He's
flip him in the
pretty.
boat. Flip him in the boat. Here. Right, like that. Good job. Dang,
Look
Gary.
how many spots this one's got.
Yeah, here, I'm gonna stick this rod in the rod holder for you.
Look at this mess I got with him, some cabbage.
All right.
We tore him up on the hook set, sorry. You see how he's hooked? Laura, he's in the middle of the two hooks.
Oh yeah.
But look at the spots on that one. That is pretty.
That's why they call it the bullseye snakehead, is because of that little false eye right there. And then they've got this like starry night pattern like you see in the Rolls Royces. Very cool.
Hey Johnny, will you take a picture of him too?
I'll absolutely grab you a photo. Let him swim. Yeah.
They just take off so fast.
Yeah, they do. All right, so as you guys can see, got a new Gheenoe. I bought it used. Picked it up off of Facebook Marketplace, and it is a big upgrade. We fished it today, fishing for snakeheads out in West Broward today. The nice thing about this boat is it's a lot wider. It can easily fish 3 people, which is what we did today. And it worked really well. I think once we put a spot lock trolling motor on this, it will probably be the easiest way for 3 people to fish, because I will not have to be on the bow to drive the trolling motor. But let's take you through the boat. So starting off with the motor, we're going to be taking this thing off and putting Yamaha on because I like Yamahas better than Suzuki's. Nothing against them, I just prefer Yamaha. This boat also has a this is a micro power pole mount, and then this is outfitted with 2 raised decks with 2 hatches on each deck. So we'll go through the back. It's basically just bilge access, and I have 2 3-gallon tanks back here, and then some wiring. In the front is just dry storage, which we have loaded down with life jackets. This is a drone box, and then some other various tackle. We've got some speakers on the front that were installed by the previous owner. Little JLs, and it makes it nice for when we're cruising around. Come on over to the other side. It's got a micro jack plate there, so very convenient. We ran through some hydrilla today that you'll see later in the video, and this is great because we could trim up and just run right over that hydrilla. Big feature for me on any boat that I own is that it has a stern light mount right here, and that allows me to run a YOLO Tech with a GoPro on it, so we can film pretty much all day and have that nice angle there, just kind of filming and filling in. I plan on getting a GoPro 9 for that spot so that I can use the hindsight mode, which is nice because it'll basically film all day and then you just basically hit the record button when you want to record it, and it'll pick up the last 30 or 15 seconds, whatever you have it set to. So GoPro 9 on the Yellowtech is going to be a game changer for this boat. And we have the console. So the previous owner had some electronics up here. He ripped them out, and I'm going to be putting in a Simrad unit or a Garmin. I haven't decided yet. He's also got the little fusion head unit. This is the trim and tilt for the jack plate, these little up and down switches. And then it's got a standard Gheenoe LT25 switch panel that's installed by Custom Canoe. One thing that I like about this boat that I didn't think that I was gonna like when I picked it up was the decking. I'm not a big fan of the decking. However, it is nice because I've got some really high-end fishing reels that we were using today, like my Diazillion, and I could put them in the rod racks here. These guys fold out, so if you forget to do it, it'll go either way. It'll fold or it'll fold depending on your preference, or if you forget to unfold it. But in the past, I had a rod fall off of these and land into the boat, and I trailered the boat 3 hours home, and that reel was just kind of scratching around on the deck. So if that were to ever happen, it'd be protected by the nice matting. And I don't know what brand this is, but it may, I don't know, maybe C-Deck or one of those brands. Next modification that I added just today, I put in an angle cooler, and I'll probably get one of the ones with a cushion on it to match the Gheenoe there eventually. But this cooler is, it makes for a great seat, and it's also removable. So if you don't want to bring a cooler and you just want to do an excursion and maybe put some drinks or some snacks in the back hatch there, you're not limited to having this in. I know a lot of the Canoe models will have the built-in seat here. It was my preference to not have that, because there are some days that I may want to put a live well here, like the extreme live wells to keep shad alive. I can put the cooler here if I want to put the cooler there. I can put a beanbag chair there if we're going to go run out. I could take this out and put it on the back, throw a bunch of gear in here for camping trips. So for me, I prefer the fiberglass console, so you can sit on the aft deck and drive it. There's tons of options with these boats. And you guys can check out CustomCanoe.com if you want to order one. I am not affiliated with Custom Canoe at all. I'm not sponsored by them. I just like their product. Maybe one day we'll work something out, but for now I'm just showing you guys the boat. Up here, this boat was opted with a live well, and it's got this kind of scupper drain there. I don't know how well you guys can see that. It's got that scupper drain right there, and it kind of goes straight through the bottom of the boat. You can see the trailer underneath. And, I think that's great if you were fishing in saltwater a lot, where you use a release well for, redfish or trout, or you're trying to keep a limit of fish and you want to swap them in and out. The only time that I'll probably ever use that live well is if I buy store-bought shiners, shrimp, and I'm fishing in saltwater, or if I can catch some pilchards or some mullet. Other than that, I'm not going to use the live well a whole lot. I'm more of an artificial guy, and if I'm going to use live bait and catch my own live bait for freshwater fishing down here, I'm going to be using my shad tank. So again, that'll go in front of the console. Moving up here, this trolling motor's off of my old boat. We just peeled it off for today so that we had something to use. Otherwise, this boat will eventually be equipped with a spot lock trolling motor on the front here, and all of this will go back on my other boat when I go to sell it. I'll bring you guys around. By the way, this is an aluminum trailer on this, and it does have the breakaway tongue. So when we go home, I'm gonna pull the LT10 out of the garage and put this one in the garage. This boat comes equipped with shark eyes. The new, like if you were to order a 2020, I think 2 and later, you'll get the real small eye, so you don't have to have such a big hole in the front of the boat. That's real nice feature. This boat is a 2021, and it'll probably be for sale in November. And then again, just various, one other life jacket, some tackle, and then this is the battery for the whole boat. So this will run the trolling motor, and it'll start the engine and run the stereo and all that. If you're gonna run the trolling motor a lot like I do, today we killed the battery. Luckily that motor has a pull start, so we were able to pull start it and get home. But if you're gonna run the trolling motor a lot like I do, I would recommend getting either a lithium battery for the trolling motor, Dakota Lithium. I'll have them linked below in the description box below. but the lead acid batteries are good for starting, but they're not good for running the trolling motor for long periods of time. So I'll be putting a Dakota lithium in this boat, and maybe I'll put a smaller starting battery under the console to run the stereo and the engine. That's really all that battery is going to run for me. Last but not least, this boat, the reason that I bought this boat, even though I have one on order, is because it was optioned exactly how I wanted it. This bass plate here will easily allow 3 people to fish very comfortably when I get the spot lock trolling motor, because I will be adding a polling platform, so I can either be up on the polling platform sight fishing for them, I can be sitting behind the steering wheel, they can be up here, I can have somebody else on the aft deck, I can just kind of fit in wherever, and I can easily take 2 people to fish with me, and I can just drive the trolling motor with the remote. So that is a must-have on this boat, in my opinion, if you want to fish 3 people. Last but not least, maybe last, I'm not sure how far along we are, we've got the push pole holders. These are fantastic. I do not know the brand of them right now, but I will find out and I'll put them in the description box below. This folds out, so you know, if you are transporting your push pole for your trip, you can have it all right here, and then when you're fishing, you don't need this here. You got the push pole in the back. It just kind of slides right into place there. I don't think I missed anything. Oh, one other thing. This is important. On a small boat like this where there's not a lot of storage, you got to add, these are called tackle webs, and I've never had these before. The tackle webs, in my opinion, are important on a boat like this. There's not a lot of console storage in there, so basically anything that you can use to either put your cell phone or some tackle or whatever is going to come in very handy. So we actually had a problem with the Suzuki today, typical Suzuki, but that's why we're putting Yamaha on it. I don't know what happened. It sounded like the motor was kind of starving for fuel. That's what happens when you buy a used boat. You got to make sure you put those things in the water and run them. It ran good yesterday for us, but today we had a little hiccup. So make sure if you're buying a used boat to really put it through the paces. You know, don't just go rush to buy a boat and not put it through the paces, because you could end up like we did, where we just rushed out yesterday to go buy this boat, and we started up and ran it for a little while, and we were like, yeah, it's good to go. Luckily, this motor's still under warranty, so it'll get fixed, no problem. And then I'll take it off and I'll put a Yamaha on it, because I am Team Yamaha. We didn't get any running shots for you guys because of the engine problem that we had today, but my next video, once this thing gets fixed, we're gonna do a full-blown running video tutorial, and then stay tuned for a comparison video of the LT10 and the LT25. It should be a great video for those of you guys that are on the fence about buying either one of those boats. And each boat has its place. I love both boats. I'd keep them both if I could, but I don't need 2 boats. I don't need 4 boats, which is what I have. I don't need 4 boats. So thank you guys very much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.